Hey y'all, Joefer here, the cranky old gay guy. And it is in the upper 70s today, and it's pretty warm out and comfortable. So I finished up what I was doing this morning and decided that I would take a little trip up the gorge to Rooster Rock State Park. And see, this is one of the last days of summer. It's fall. And I want to experience some heat on my bum. Bum. Today, I'll give you a little update. Portland is still on fire, and it's a war zone. And I don't know how people are surviving. I really don't. Kristi Noem, head of whatever agency she's in head of, like ICE or something. She's not the czar. That's that Tom Holman guy. But anyway, she's coming out today. She's supposed to be in Portland to stage some photo ops. I guess in Chicago yesterday, she made sure she had photographers with her, and she went to some building I think was closed, and she insisted on using the bathroom in that building, and whoever was there said, no, you can't use it. So she went on a big conservative tour about how she was being discriminated against because they hate her in Chicago, and they wouldn't even let a woman use a bathroom. Wow, now she knows how trans people feel when they're not allowed to use a bathroom. And as far as I know, she's not trans. She's just Kristi Noem, the dog killer. And goat killer too. But anyway, she's coming to Portland today, so expect that she will try to do something much like that here to show that she is being attacked and discriminated against. And I don't know how to feel about that. I mean, it's all just a crock of whatever. We'll see what happens. But yes, Portland is still burning. I can smell the smoke in the air and the pepper spray. And I am at least 7-8 miles away from the ICE detention center. In other political news, and yes, it does make me cranky that the right-wing media keeps promoting this kind of stuff. And I opened Twitter today, just to see some porn. And I didn't get to, because every story was Trump, and it was all pro-Trump and anti-democratic. And I scrolled probably 8 pages of nothing but that, so I had to get out of it, and I had to go back in and into my account and actually search for someone I'm following to get out of that algorithm. I mean, I was inundated, and I don't follow any of the sites that I was getting hit with. Those posters, I don't follow any of them, not even Elon. And there was only one posting from him. But the rest were all just, Trump in front of the military, and they're all hoorahing him, and they're clapping. And he's talking to women on the street who say, oh, you're making us so safe. And it was all just propaganda up the wazoo. Woo. Now we're in traffic, and we aren't even on a freeway. We are on a highway. I am on Lombard, also known as, well, depending on what part of Lombard you're on, it becomes Killingsworth and then Lombard again. And it also, the other direction becomes Pacific Highway, I think, something like that. I don't know why. I don't know why. Anyway, on better news, the Epstein files, using a not well known or well used rule in the Senate. I think it's the Senate. It's Chuck Schumer, so I think it's the Senate. He and fellow members of the something investigation committee that looks into this kind of stuff, even though the government's shut down, they're still there. So they went ahead and used this rule in their committee. They only needed 5 votes. It's called the rule of 5. That if they all say, yes, we want such and such information, the Department of Justice is required by law to provide it. So they're all hemming and hawing and having applause, thinking they're going to get all the Epstein papers. Well, they're not. They're getting the Epstein files. That is not all of the records that the DOJ has on Epstein. Those are just the files. They should have asked for everything, which would include all of the tapes, video recordings, audio recordings, everything he had in his apartment in his safe. But they didn't ask for that, so all they're going to get is files from his trial, and most likely those will be very redacted because the FBI has been spending the last couple months or so. I think, what's her name? Pam Bondi said she put 1,000 agents on this to go through and redact everything that involves people who should not be mentioned. Now, she didn't say the president, but that's what she meant. So they're going to get a bunch of papers, and the papers might say some things, but someone's name is going to be blacked out on all of those. So that makes me cranky too. That the Democrats, although they have a slight win here, it doesn't mean that Bondi's going to actually follow through on it and give them the information. And they didn't ask for the right information. That's the problem. That's the thing that makes me cranky, is they just aren't thinking ahead. They're looking at these little wins when you should go for the big picture, because that's what the other side does. They play a long game, and look what they're doing to our country. All right, I know some of you don't like it when I talk about politics, but for those of you who are not in the United States, you may hear that my city is on fire. Does it look like it's on fire? Okay, I'm going to let y'all go. Stay cranky, my friends. Stay cranky. Bye-bye.